Now on KMTV Action 3 News, fixing up what might be the worst street in downtown Omaha.
Kind of driving on the surface of the moon. It's very rough.
Searching for a specific SUV and suspect in a shooting at Nebraska Furniture Mart. And complaints about OPPD service charge increase. We dig for answers.
We're restructuring the rates in order to try and bring them more in line.
You likely received your OPPD bill in the last week. It clearly says no 2017 rate increase. But is that really true? Good evening, I'm Craig Nigrelli. At least one ratepayer has gone public, calling it dishonest. Tomorrow, the OPPD board has its first meeting of the new year. So tonight, our Miranda Christian went searching for answers to better understand what you are paying for. She's live for us.
Getting your energy bills this month, you may or may not notice a difference. The utility started their rate restructure in last June, and phase 2 just started for 2017. If you're one to look at the breakdown of your OPPD bill, then you're used to seeing a $15 service charge and whatever your kilowatt usage was for the month. But starting in January 2017, OPPD will increase their service charge and your usage charge will go down.
Most average use customers whose bills hover between $80, $125 a month, will see little to no difference at all in their bills. Those who use more would see a decrease. Those who use less would see an increase.
Jody Baker with OPPD says by 2019, the service charge will go up to $30.
It really has a lot to do with those fixed charges that we incur in order to deliver power to our customers. You've got your power lines, transmission lines, maintenance costs, a lot of other costs that go into our ability to bring power to customers.
While OPPD says the service charge and usage should balance out on the bill, others aren't sold.
For them to say they're not raising their rates, when in fact everybody's bill is going up $9 or $10 a month because of a quote-unquote fixed charge, that's still raising their rate.
In their 2017 newsletter, they say in big bold letters, no rate increase. But this refers to the general rate increase. And in the article, it talks about the rate restructure that started in June.
That's like going to the gas pump and saying, well, the price of the gas isn't going up, but we're going to charge you a user fee for the gas pump.
Another customer wrote into the World Herald saying, what difference does it make if it is a fixed cost or rate increase? My bill will be increasing by $20 regardless.
What this plan does really is it kind of insulates us from the volatilities that could exist otherwise in the energy industry, and it helps us know what to expect and let our customers know what to expect.
OPPD says they do realize that some people who use less power and have lower income may be really affected by these changes, and they do try to work with those who qualify. Reporting live, I'm Miranda Christian, KMTV Action 3 News.
Now, your Weather Alert First Forecast.
Right now, some light snow is falling over the Omaha Metro, even some flurries over Maple Street, around Blair. So just off the northern half of the Metro right now and crossing over, heading towards Epley. So we're looking at light snowfall, really a large portion of extreme northeastern Nebraska seeing some light snow. And it's been falling for several hours from Takema being reported there. The latest observations even over Wayne and Norfolk. And then it steadily continues all the way back over the central half of the state, right along I-80. As it keeps moving to the east, it keeps running into some drier air, at least here in the Omaha Metro, so it's not going to add up to anything. May see better chances for some accumulating snow back to the north of us. This is not the only storm system that will be impacting us here over the next several days. Another one off the coast of California will be moving in over the weekend, and there is the potential that we could see an ice event developing. I'll have the latest update coming up.
If you've been to the old market lately, you know there is one street to the south that has so many craters you likely avoid it at all costs. Jones. But tonight there is light at the end of that rocky tunnel. New at 10 reporter Maya Signs is live with an update. Maya.
Craig, this bumpy road has so many holes and uneven cobblestone bricks, as you can kind of see behind me, that businesses say that patrons often slip and fall walking into the local businesses, which is why the city now has plans to redesign the road and potentially bring in new business. uneven pavement, holes, and tarnished bricks. That's what drivers and pedestrians see on Jones Street from 11th to 13th streets downtown.
Yeah, I think the city officials have confessed that to me directly, self-proclaimed worst street in Omaha.
That road's in terrible condition. If you drive it, you have to drive it very, very slow. It's kind of driving on the surface of the moon. You know, it's very rough.
But the city has plans to rebuild the old street and put in new bricks and sidewalks in 2020, with hopes of expanding the old market to Jones Street with more human elements.
I think traffic, including foot traffic, kind of ends at Jackson Street just because of the condition of the roads. People, the public, are kind of nervous to come down to this southern portion of the old market.
Businesses along the flawed industrial street, like the Boiler Room and the Kaneko Art Gallery, are hopeful the new street design will attract more business and developers, so the street can thrive with the rest of the old market.
I think that definitely in the long run it'll help business. The street is not of proper quality, and there's a lot of patrons that make comments about that. They don't know if they can park on this street. They kind of have a hard time driving down it. It's really bumpy.
It's the old chicken and egg thing. Does the development come first and then the street follows it, or does the street go in? In this particular case, we know we've got to fix Jones Street. It's in the CIP for 2020. We're trying to get a jump on that so that if a developer comes in and says, hey, I'd like to do these at the same time and I'm going to contribute some dollars to that, we can be ready.
It's a long time coming. It's something we've been hoping for and looking for quite a while.
The city will now begin hosting public meetings with local residents and businesses to see what it is they want incorporated in the new redesign. Reporting live from 11th and Jackson, Maya Signs, KMTV Action 3 News.
A violent morning leaves Omaha police looking for suspected killers tonight. 2 people are dead, another critically injured. 3 different shootings happened from 1:15 in the morning until 4:45. Police responded to 33rd and Fowler, 36th and Laurel, and the Nebraska Furniture Mart parking lot. This woman lives in the Laurel neighborhood.
It's ridiculous. We killing each other over nothing. And I don't know what we can do to stop it, because there are people who won't talk.
As for the shooting at the Mart, tonight we are learning more about the victim. Investigators say Jared Clausen and a co-worker were walking in the main parking lot when bullets hit him. Police released pictures of an SUV, a green 1995 to 2001 Ford Explorer that they believe was involved. It's kind of grainy, but there it is right there. The suspect, a thin white man with shaggy blonde hair. Tonight we caught up with store director Scott Baker. He spent much of the day at the hospital with Clausen, along with his family and co-workers. Baker says Clausen has worked as a maintenance building technician for the past decade.
And this is a guy with great skills and a great attitude. He's really a model employee, and well-liked, well-known, lots of skills, and just all around a great guy, great family man, and we're pretty lucky to have him.
Baker says he gave police all the surveillance video that officers requested. As for the 2 murders, community leaders plan to hold prayer walks tomorrow night, one for each of the victims in North Omaha. They will remember Darnisha Mitchell near 33rd and Fowler. Officers found her shot inside a home. She later died at the hospital. Neighbors are sad but not surprised.
Well, there's always that odd chance that something's going to come through the, through the walls. That's just something you worry about.
So far, no word on any suspects there. A prayer walk will also be held at 36th and Laurel. That's where police found 28-year-old D'Angelo Branch lying on the sidewalk next to shell casings around 2:40.
There was a shot spotter activation along with a neighbor that did call in the shots fired in the area.
Investigators are urging anybody with information about the violence to call police. Tonight, Omaha police believe they have found the man responsible for a shooting that killed a teenager in November. Otis Walker will face murder and gun charges. He's currently in prison serving time for felony assault. Police say Walker shot 16-year-old Marquise Dunn near 24th and Pratt on Thanksgiving weekend. He later died at the hospital. Concern about violence and safety proved to be stumbling blocks for a businessman who wants to sell booze at his convenience store in Benson. The Nebraska Liquor Commission denied a request for a liquor license for the Tobacco Hut at 62nd and Ames. Robbers have targeted the store more than a half dozen times in the past 2 years. The owner right there promised to build a concrete barrier to push traffic away from the church nearby. The pastor was against the liquor license.
I've seen a lot of the issues in that area, and when I purchased that, it was basically to help that area.
Well, that effort failed. The church declared victory, saying it's better this way for the community. Well, get this, thousands of bags of dog food gone, stolen, gobbled up by thieves in Bellevue. They stole a semi-truck and a trailer filled with $120,000 worth of dog food from the Blue Buffalo Company last Saturday. There's the aftermath right there. La Vista police found the truck on Monday and trailer abandoned on Chandler Road. It was pretty much empty. Investigators are looking for a red four-door car with tinted windows. They believe 3 stolen Penske moving trucks from Omaha might be tied to that crime as well. A convicted drug offender given time to get his affairs in order is now behind bars after Cass County investigators found 3 dead horses on his property. Our partners at the Omaha World Herald are reporting that Tim Tiedemann has turned himself in to federal authorities. In November, he pleaded guilty to a federal drug charge. Last Monday, a tip led Cass County deputies to his property near Murdoch. They found 1 horse dead in a creek, 2 other dead horses, and 2 malnourished animals. Tiedemann will be in court on the animal cruelty charges in March. An alert tonight to hospitals, rehab centers, nursing homes, and primary care doctors. Watch out for a norovirus. Nebraska health officials tell us there have been 20 different cases of the norovirus since November. Last month, we told you about dozens of suspected cases at Omaha homeless shelters, including more than 50 people affected at the Sienna Francis House. The state now wants any facility with 3 or more cases to report it to local health departments. We now know at least 2 of the committee assignments for the new Omaha congressman. Don Bacon announced today he will serve on the House Agriculture Committee. Last week, we learned Nebraska will not have a member on the Senate Agriculture Committee for the first time in decades. The retired Air Force Brigadier General will also be on the House Armed Forces Committee. Donald Trump held his first press conference since voters elected him president. How Mr. Trump responded to questions about Russia, his business affairs, and repealing Obamacare. Next. Plus, stunning new details in the case against an Iowa man accused of gunning down 2 police officers in their patrol cars. What police found in his truck and at his home.
You're watching KMTV Action 3 News with Jennifer Griswold, Craig Nigrelli, weather with meteorologist Jennifer Zeppelin, and sports with Ben Stevens. This is KMTV Action 3 News live at 10.